I have participated in and led many efforts to promote and advance women and members of historically excluded communities. And one of those efforts was being a member of the Consensus Study Committee that produced the 2018 National Academy's Sexual Harassment Report. So let me draw your attention to the recommendation in the report that specifically targeted professional societies. Quoting the recommendation, which I'm sure you've all read and know, professional societies should accelerate their efforts to be viewed as organizations that are helping to create culture changes that reduce or prevent the occurrence of sexual harassment. They should provide support and guidance for members who have been targets of sexual harassment. They should use their influence to address sexual harassment in the scientific, medical, and engineering communities they represent, and promote a professional culture of civility and respect. And notably, among the findings of the study was that harassment persists when it is tolerated, meaning that it persists when there are no or few consequences or little accountability for the behaviors. So what's essential in creating a culture that prevents sexual harassment and more broadly creates a culture that welcomes and supports all members of the community is the centering of diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as ethics. As president of AAAS, I have the privilege of leading an organization that does just that. And I'm going to share some strategies from my perspective that demonstrate leadership by AAAS in addressing sexual harassment in particular, and in creating a culture of inclusion, civility, and respect. AAAS made a commitment to support culture change that would make harassing behaviors clearly unacceptable. This includes policies that make clear expectations of non-harassing behavior in its activities and in its meetings, and to hold persons accountable for these behaviors as a breach of professional norms. AAAS put in place policies to ensure that activities and meetings were safe spaces, that expectations of behavior were articulated, forbidding harassment. AAAS has vetting for its awards and requirement of attestation from nominators for fellow that individuals being advanced for such recognition have not been cited for harassing behaviors. AAAS Council approved a new policy that established sexual and gender-based harassment as a breach of professional ethics that could lead to revocation of AAAS fellow status. AAAS held town halls at its annual meetings to help provide more visibility to sexual and gender harassment in STEM and medicine and its impact on education and career advancement. AAAS took on the collaborative leadership role in the establishment of this society's consortium on sexual harassment in STEM and medicine. As you know, along with the American Geophysical Union, the Association of American Medical Colleges, and Education Council. And significantly, AAAS's signature institutional transformation program in support of diversity, equity, and inclusion, See Change, which is short for See Change with STEM and Medicine Equity Achievement. It includes attention to harassment and the ways in which colleges and universities respond to the issue. So currently, and looking to the future, AAAS and its leadership have embraced within its strategic vision the need to address and center diversity, equity, and inclusion in STEM and medicine in support of excellence in research and innovation, as well as the need to provide opportunities for scientific engagement of all people at all stages of career pathways. We have taken a strong and unapologetic approach to diversity, equity, and inclusion that includes publicly available annual reporting of metrics and progress, a proactive stance against systemic racism and sexual and gender harassment and other intersecting forms of harassment, a platform to give voice to issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion, a governance modernization plan that integrates diversity, equity, and inclusion, and a mission to advance science, engineering, and innovation throughout the world for the benefit of all people, that is inherently viewed through the lenses of diversity, equity, inclusion, and ethics.